clap time again. Y'all ready? Let's go. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. I know what let's do since Thanksgiving's coming. Let's gobble like a turkey. If you're happy and you know it, gobble like a turkey. Gobble, gobble, gobble. If you're happy and you know it, gobble like a turkey. Gobble, 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 gobble. If you are happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, gobble like a turkey. Gobble, 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 gobble. You know, there are a lot of songs for this time of the year. Let's do, you know, as you're still seeing pumpkins, because they look so pretty sitting on somebody's door for Thanksgiving. So let's do 1 little, 2 little, 3 little pumpkins. Okay, y'all ready? Let's go. Get your pumpkins ready. Now, here we go. 1 little, 2 little, 3 little pumpkins, 4 little, 5 little, 6 little pumpkins, 7 little, 8 little, 9 little pumpkins, 10 little pumpkins growing. What we are in the pumpkin patch? In the pumpkin patch. They rolled and they rolled and they rolled down the hill. Rolled and they rolled and they rolled down the hill. Rolled and they rolled and they rolled down the hill. No more pumpkins in the
pumpkin patch.
Yeah, they all rolled away. I probably got busted and
They
smacked.
probably did.
Let's see. Let's do. Now you can do 1 little, 2 little, 3 little turkeys. Let's let the turkey sit up in a tree and flap away. Okay. You know how to go. Okay. Here we go. 1 little, 2 little, 3 little turkeys. 4 little, 5 little, 6 little turkeys. 7 little, 8 little, 9 little turkeys. 10 little turkeys sitting in a tree. They flapped and they flapped and they flapped away. They flapped and they flapped and they flapped away. They flapped and they flapped and they flapped away. No more turkeys in the tree today. That was a pretty good one.
That was good.
Okay, let's do 5 little turkeys. Okay, y'all ready? Here we go. There were 5 little turkeys up in a tree. And the first one said, "Ooh, what do I see?" And the second one said, "Hunters with a gun." And the third one said, "I think we all better run." But the fourth one said, "I'm not afraid." And the fifth one said, "Let's hide in the shade." Now everybody get ready. And when we count 3, you shoot the gun and watch the turkeys run. 1, 2, 3.
Wow.
Went the gun and run, turkeys. Run. That's a fun one. I like that. That's good. And then let's see. We could do leaves. Let's do 5 little leaves up in the tree. Okay.
Okay.
Lots of little points. And you notice they all talk about 5 because you can use your fingers. Well, those got what we call finger plays. Okay. All right, y'all ready? Here we go. There were 5 little leaves up in the tree, and the first one said, "Woo, look at me." And the second one said, "I'm just as orange and brown as I can be." And the third one looked down and he said, "This tree is so tall." And the fourth one said, "Yeah, I'm afraid we're gonna fall." But the fifth one said, "Y'all follow me." And with a great big whee, jumped off that tree. There he goes. Woo! Let's sing another song. Let's sing The Autumn Leaves Are Falling Down. Okay, you ready? You got you a leaf? Have I got me a leaf? Okay, here we go. Let me get me a leaf. Okay, this one's pretty now.
It is pretty.
Yeah. Okay, you ready? Here we're gonna let them fall in it. The autumn leaves are falling down, all orange and brown and red. They're gently floating through the air. Whoop! One landed on my head.
It didn't land on mine. That's the fall.
Okay, now let's do Once a Little Leaf. That was a funny one too. All right, you got your leaf?
I got a leaf.
Okay, go. Here we go. Okay, now you don't have to do this, but it's a lot of fun for the kids to do. But you can do it with your hand. Okay, put your hand down here. You can squat if you want to, but sometimes my squatter doesn't squat good, so it's okay, you ready? Once a little leaf. Now let's have you put me a leaf here. You got caught up in the breeze. It blew up past the bushes. It blew up past the trees. It blew up in the cold sky, high above the ground. But what happened when the wind stopped? Then the leaves came down. That's a fun one, isn't it?
It is.
That's a fun one to do with a bunch of kids in the room. Let's do it again, you ready? Once a little leaf got caught up in the breeze. It blew up past the bushes and it blew up past the trees. It blew up in the cold sky, high above the ground. But what happened when the wind stopped? What then? The leaves came down. And then you see, you could go on, you could play like you're raking. You go, rake and rake and rake the leaves, pile them high and higher. Now everybody please step back, Miss Mattie will light the fire. Oh, that feels good. Let's go in there and look in your refrigerator and get some Wheaties.
Okay.
And then y'all can step on some more.
Marshmallows.
Now what do you put on? Graham cracker.
And then a marshmallow.
Marshmallow. And then
And then a chocolate bar. And
sure.
then another graham cracker.
And get it all hot.
Smushy. I like a burnt marshmallow.
Do you?
I
Oh,
do.
you like that crusty
I
one.
let it catch on fire and burn the whole outside of
I
it.
listen to that. I wish you loved.
And I like it a whole lot better without the chocolate.
Do you?
I do. Just a graham cracker, a burnt marshmallow, and another graham cracker on top.
This large weird mint chocolate. We all different. We talk
We
about it.
are.
You got us a good book?
I do. It's called Fletcher and the Falling Leaves.
It's Fletcher, the dog's name.
Well, I guess, but he looks like a little fox.
Oh, yeah, he does. Okay, then he's not a dog, it's his tail.
He is. He's a little
Foxes have
fox.
big tails.
They do. Look at the pretty picture.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
The world was changing. Each morning, when Fletcher bounded out of the den, everything seemed just a little bit different. The rich green of the forest was turning to a dusty gold, and the soft swishing sound of summer was fading to a crinkly whisper. Fletcher's favorite tree looked dull, dry, and brown. Fletcher was beginning to get worried. "I think my tree is sick," said Fletcher. "What's wrong with it?" his mother asked. "Its leaves are turning brown," said Fletcher. "Don't worry, it's autumn," said Mother. Fletcher ran back to his tree and patted the rough bark. "Don't worry, it's only autumn," he said. "You'll be feeling better soon." But the tree didn't get better. Each day, more leaves turned brown. One morning, the wind blew a small brown leaf off of a branch. Fletcher jumped up and caught it very gently in his paw. "Don't worry, tree, I've got your leaf. I'll fix you." Fletcher looked around, picked a piece of grass, and carefully tied the leaf to a branch. Just then, another gust of wind ruffled Fletcher's fur. The little leaf shook itself free and fluttered back to the ground. Fletcher picked it up again and thought very hard. Then he poked the leaf onto a twig and pushed it down firmly. "Now you hold on tight," said Fletcher. "No more flying around." The little leaf gave a tiny rustle in reply. The next day, a strong wind was blowing through the forest. Fletcher rushed out of the den and ran all the way to his tree. Lots of branches were bare, and little lost leaves spun everywhere. "Don't worry, tree, I'll catch them for you, I promise." Round and round and round whirled Fletcher after the swirling leaves. "Leaves! Wonderful! Just what I need for my nest," said a squirrel. "But these belong to the tree," said Fletcher. "Don't take them away." "The tree doesn't need them anymore," said the squirrel, bounding off. "Help! Help! The wind and the squirrel are stealing our leaves!" cried Fletcher. "Leaves! Terrific! Just what I need to keep warm," said a porcupine, rolling around. "But these belong to the tree," said Fletcher, plucking leaves from the porcupine's needles. "Not anymore," snuffled the porcupine, and away he rolled. "Help! Help! The wind, the squirrel, and the porcupine are stealing our leaves," cried Fletcher. Suddenly, a flock of friendly birds swooped down from the sky. They picked up the leaves in their beaks and poked them onto the tree's branches. Soon the tree was leafy again, and Fletcher flopped down and smiled. "Thank you, birds, thank you," he gasped as the birds fluttered away. He lay looking up through the leaves at the sky and drifted off to sleep. But the wind continued to blow, and the branches still danced. The leaves shivered and shook themselves and began to wiggle free. They tossed and turned and twitched and twirled and tumbled to the ground. They brushed Fletcher's ears and nose and filled his dreams with a whispering sound. When Fletcher finally woke up, he couldn't believe his eyes. Instead of a roof of dancing leaves, all he could see were bare branches against the sky. "Oh, tree, I'm so sorry," gulped Fletcher. "All your leaves are gone." But then he saw, high in the branches, one small leaf still holding on. "I won't let the wind steal that one," said Fletcher, and he began to climb. He crawled all the way to the last leaf and held it firmly onto the branch. All day long the wind blew the branch, and it bounced, and Fletcher held on tight. "I'll stay with you, leaf," he said. "Don't worry." But then, with a sudden whoosh of wind, the branch bounced high. With a plop, the leaf let go and fluttered like a little flag clutched in Fletcher's paw. The last leaf on his favorite tree. Fletcher looked sadly at the leaf he had promised to save. He carried it carefully down the tree and back to the den. He made a cozy little bed for it and gently tucked it in. But all night long he could only think of his tree, all on its own. At dawn, Fletcher tiptoed outside. The wind had finally stopped blowing and the air was cold. The moon still hung in the clear sky and pale stars glimmered. As he came to his favorite tree, Fletcher saw a magical sight. The tree was hung with 1,000 icicles shining silver in the early light. "Oh, you are more beautiful than ever," whispered Fletcher. "But are you all right?" A tiny breeze shivered the branches, making a sound like laughter, and in the light of the rising sun, the sparkling branches nodded. Fletcher gave his tree a hug. Then he went back to the den for a nice, warm breakfast.
And everybody has to say, the end. You reckon it'll snow this year?
I just don't know. It's been a little while since it snowed around here.
It's always so nice when it snows.
It
Even if it
is.
just snows there for a day or so, we don't like it to stay a long time.
No, we don't.
Well, we'll just have to see what this winter brings, won't it?
We
It's
will.
a pretty little book.
It
Isn't that
is a
pretty?
pretty little book.
And little foxes. I would love to see a little fox. My neighbor saw one in her yard in the town. One time I thought that was so fun. I thought I wish I could have seen it, but I didn't get to. But they have a bushy, pretty little tail.
They do. They do. And you know, if you get outside and you see the leaves falling, see if you can catch them when they're floating in the sky. That's always fun.
Woo!
It gets away from you.
Get
I
away from
missed it.
Bye, 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 bye. We're glad you came today. Bye, 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 bye. We're glad you came to play. Goodbye.